successful wishbone starts with a smart quarterback who can run. At Alabama, Terry Davis. At Texas, Alan Lowry. The fleet quarterback is the left jab, setting up the wishbone's knockout punch. The fullback, like Steve Bisceglia, Alabama. Roosevelt Leach, Texas. Men who attract a crowd when they don't have the ball and are good for the hard yards when they do. Men whose job it is to convince the defense they have the ball on every play. Put the two together, the massive fullback running or faking, and the alert quarterback reading the defense and cutting into the open spaces. This is the wishbone and its option attack. Alabama and Texas both employ the basic wishbone, yet each is a little different.
About the only thing they do that we don't major in is the quarterback will take a misdirection step like to his left and fakes to no one and then comes back. We call it a no-fake counter option. They have a pass off of it where the quarterback will start to his left, come back to his right, and then drop back to throw. And I would say the majority of their passing game comes off of this maneuver. Alabama, however, is the best passing football team from the wishbone that I've seen. I think that's because Terry Davis possesses an unusually good touch.
So Alabama utilizes a more wide-open offense, while Texas, the pioneer of the formation, remains almost pure wishbone. Alabama lines its two deep backs standing upright. Texas puts them down. Alabama feels they can read the defense better. Texas believes in quicker acceleration. The wishbone was Darrell Royal's baby. He taught it to Paul Bryant and says he learned a lot about it from the Bear, too. Now these two highly successful coaches and their versions of the wishbone collide head-on in the 1973 Cotton Bowl Classic. For the 33rd consecutive year, the Southwest Conference champion hosts an invasion. Alabama, the best in the Southeast, has come to Dallas. The color and pageantry add to the anticipation. In a few moments, two fabled football powers will meet for only the sixth time in 70 years. Alabama has never beaten Texas. The Crimson Tide is 10-1, ranked number 4 in the country. It is the Tide's record-setting 4th visit to the Cotton Bowl and 14th consecutive bowl invitation. Texas is 9-1, ranked number 5. This is the Horns' 5th straight Cotton Bowl appearance. The long-awaited collision of the wishbones has arrived. The Southwest Conference champions are slight underdogs. Alabama, kicking off, was a stronger team than Texas in 1972 on paper, but this 37th annual Cotton Bowl Classic will be decided on the playing field, where it counts. Freshman Marty Akins returns the kickoff to the Texas 34. The Longhorn wishbone attack, which has made Texas one of the best rushing teams in the nation over the last 5 years, will be tested by the top defense in the rugged Southeastern Conference. Facing a 3rd and 9 situation, Texas goes to a drop-back pass. And Alabama's Steve Wade forces the game's first turnover. Right away, Paul Bryant reveals his own version of the wishbone, splitting receivers on both sides of the field, holding fewer men inside to block. Against a big containing defense like Texas, you need all the blocking you can find. Defensive end Bill Rutherford, number 87, hurries Terry Davis into a wild pitch back. Wilbur Jackson covers it for a loss. On the rerun of that play, watch number 87 diagnose the wishbone option to perfection. The loss is costly. Attacking from its wide-open offense, Alabama advances to the Texas 33 on a Terry Davis to Wayne Wheeler connection. But the Tide faces fourth down and must salvage 3 points to take the early lead. The kick is a Cotton Bowl record 50-yarder. And strangely enough, it's the only field goal of the season for Greg Gant. The Longhorns are having trouble with the Tide's quick pursuing defense. Alabama keeps pressure on Texas quarterback Alan Lowry and moves its outside men in to form an unyielding vice. Texas bread and butter ground game almost loses its most effective hammer. Sophomore fullback Roosevelt Leak is injured while throwing a block. A hard rap he takes on the head will leave him groggy for a while, but he'll come back to play out the game after taking a short break. Again, stopped by the Tide defense, the orange and white switches to the air. Tommy Landry is double covered. And Steve Wade pulls in his second interception of the young game. This time, the Bama safety tacks on a 42-yard return. Another view shows the anatomy of the Crimson Steel. Pat Kelly is the primary receiver, needing only 7 yards for the first down. With Kelly out of the play and the line pressuring the quarterback, Wade has the help he needs to make the grab. Alabama fans are ready for the kill. And they don't have long to wait. One quick pitch. The same play that hurt Alabama earlier when the hurried pitchback missed connection. This time, it's a perfect strike. And Wilbur Jackson, the Tide's game breaker, spots acres of daylight. A final block from Wayne Wheeler, number 82, and Jackson romps home with a 31-yard touchdown. So far, it's all Alabama. Late in the first period, Jerry Sizemore, Travis Roach, and that hard-charging Texas offensive line begins firing out. A powerful running game that brought Texas to the Cotton Bowl is hurting Alabama. The vital cogs are Roosevelt Leak, the Southwest Conference rushing champion, and Alan Lowry, a converted defensive back. In 12 time-consuming plays, Texas drives 76 yards to the Alabama 4. The confident Longhorns seem to have shaken their early ineffectiveness. But near the goal line, they find this is still primarily a defensive ball game. Alan Lowry hopes to fool the Tide with a well-executed wishbone fake and a pitch to the trailing halfback. But Bama's Mike Washington is in no mood to be fooled. Alabama's defense chokes off the Texas threat, bringing in Billy Schott for a sure shot field goal. It's now 10-3 Alabama, but the Tide strikes for more. With 96 seconds to go, Alabama rolls 80 yards on the arm of Terry Davis. One more accolade for the Southeastern Conference Player of the Year. Darrell Royal has already acclaimed Davis the best passing wishbone quarterback ever. His passing attack relies on two wide receivers. One of them, number 92, Dexter Wood, who burns the Texas secondary with 4 first-half receptions. This one spots the rising Tide at the Longhorn 35. Wood again to the 26. And then some razzle-dazzle off the wishbone. Davis pitches to Johnny Sharpless on the end around. Sharpless, a former quarterback, throws back to Terry Davis. And the chase is on down the sideline. The shifty Alabama quarterback steps out of bounds at the 14. 8 seconds before intermission. Time for a field goal try. Bill Davis puts it through, and Alabama takes a 13-3 lead with 30 minutes to play. Halftime is another Cotton Bowl spectacular featuring precision drills by the Kilgore College Rangerettes. During halftime, each team makes a basic decision. Texas must tighten up and neutralize the Alabama aerial game that has shredded the proud Longhorn defense. There must be more pressure on Tide quarterback Terry Davis. They cannot let him get outside or allow him time to set up. When Davis does get the pass away, the deep coverage must be in position to get to the ball. For Alabama, the big adjustment concerns Texas inside power. The Tide shifts the defensive alignment in tighter, concentrating on Roosevelt Leak running behind the big Texas line. The problem is that Leak seems to find room where there is no room. Defenders are in trouble. They did not face a wishbone team in 1972, and they haven't met a fullback with the savage power of Roosevelt Leak. Number 46 carries on 8 of 12 plays in this relentless Texas drive. On 4th and 2 at the Tide 15, Leaks again gets the call. Roach and Sizemore lead the way, and Leaks blasts for the crucial first down. Trailing 13-3, Texas has a 1st and goal at the Alabama 8. Now Leaks is a decoy as number 34, Donald Ray Ely, stretches to the 5. Ely again to the 3. 3rd and goal. The desperate defense knows it's time for Leaks. And stop Leaks they do, but he doesn't have the ball. A second look at the play shows quarterback Alan Lowry faking the leak. And taking the ball untouched into the end zone for the first Texas touchdown of the day. The 15-play drive has eaten up more than 7 minutes of the playing time, and momentum has obviously shifted, even though Alabama still leads by 3 points. So the Tide reverts to what it does best. Davis and Wheeler pair up on a picture-perfect 40-yarder. But the next time Alabama goes to the air, it's a carom shot, and sophomore Terry Melanson grabs off his first collegiate interception. Now the Longhorn offense also grinds to a halt. Looking at 4th and 1, Lowry sends Leaks into the middle. After a measurement, Texas is ruled inches shy, and quarterback Lowry doesn't agree with that decision at all. Terry Davis, a passer to strike fear in any defense's heart, rallies the Tide. It's another 22-yard strike, and Texas has to knock on wood once more to stop Dexter. Seconds later, Davis churns along after John Hanna's clearing block for a first down at the Texas 34. Looking for the killing thrust on first down, Davis lost a high pass to the goal line, where there's 2 from Texas and 1 from Alabama. Texas Terry Melanson wins the wrestling match. A second look shows the great protection Davis gets. He uncorks a bomb. But in the end zone, it's simply a jump ball. Melanson's second interception gives Texas another opportunity as the sophomore returns to a hero's welcome at the Longhorn bench. Seven minutes to play, and Texas badly in need of points. Lowry winds up and hurls 20 yards to Pat Kelly. Lowry, who authored only 1 touchdown pass the entire 1972 season, finds Julius Whittier at the Alabama 42. Returning to its basic ground game, fighting the tide and the clock, Texas keeps fueling its desperate game of catch-up football. Leach carries only once in the drive, but he's a constant nagging threat to Alabama's defense. When Don Ely bangs to the Bama 34, it leaves Texas facing third and needing 2 yards, with about 4 1/2 minutes left. Trailing by 3, the Texas Brain Trust arranges a hasty conference. Darrell Royal and Alan Lowry decide on a daring play. Decisions. Alabama's defense draws in, looking for the off-tackle power. Even the camera takes the fake as Lowry bootlegs left and completes a sprint that will become the most controversial play of the bowl season. Did he or didn't he step out of bounds at the 10-yard line? But first, a look at the faking that pulled in the Alabama defense and enabled Lowry to get outside. Another angle from the end zone. Lowry turns the corner, and Jerry Stevens, the field judge, follows. A jarring downfield block between the official and the runner as Lowry cuts back inside at the 10-yard line. Did he or didn't he? Finally, a cameraman stationed at the 8-yard line catches Lowry's run in slow motion. Does he or doesn't he? The officials say Texas touchdown. With 4:22 to play, Texas has its first lead in this battle of the wishbone. And the Longhorn bench goes wild. But remember, this is an Alabama team that scored 14 points in the final 2.5 minutes to beat Tennessee earlier in the season. A team that has not been held without a touchdown in the second half for 22 straight games. A swing pass to Fleet Wilbur Jackson almost breaks it. He's out at the Texas 48. Terry Davis feels the Horns are vulnerable to the pass, but Glenn Gaspard puts on too much pressure. Second down, and Bama shoots the works on the wide sweep that scored earlier. The Texas defense grudgingly yields a few yards. Third down. Fullback Steve Bisceglia rams the ball close to a vital first down. It's now 4th and inches at the Texas 43. It's all coming down to a single play for a single foot of AstroTurf. The call is Wilbur Jackson over the right side. But he's met hard and decisively by Randy Braban, and the Longhorn defense has smothered the final Alabama bid. On a rerun, watch Braban, number 63, unblocked with a clear pass to the ball. For Braban, the game's outstanding defensive player, a Cotton Bowl victory has been a long time coming. And Randy is going to make sure that the game ball winds up in Austin. This rugged Texas defense has kept the Tide outside the Texas 30-yard line the entire second half. The proud Longhorns erupt, favoring their third Cotton Bowl triumph in 5 years. A fantastic come-from-behind 17-13 victory over an outstanding Alabama team. Texas quarterback Alan Lowry, with 2 touchdowns and 117 rushing yards, is voted the game's outstanding offensive player after appearing in the 2 previous Cotton Bowls as a defensive back. It's a big win for Texas and the Southwest Conference, and it's acclaimed one of the most exciting bowl games in history. For anyone in orange, this 37th annual Cotton Bowl, this collision of wishbones, is a moment to savor.